Hi students, this is Karthik Trivedi and you are watching a lecture series of Applied Thermodynamics with me. So now in today's video, we are going to see some basic concepts, or you can say some basic equation regarding to VCRS cycle, and then we are going to proceed for compound compression, or you can say multi-staging. So what is the need of compound compression and what is the need of multi-staging? So this is the very important lecture. So those who haven't seen the understanding pH and TS diagram episode, first go there and see that, because this is the basic requirement for understanding this video lecture, okay? And this is very important video. Once you understand this video, once you understand this concept which is discussed in this video, you can easily understand all the compound compression cycle. So this is going to be a very important video for you. So let's start today's video. So here you can see that our topic is compound compression, multi-staging, the need of compound compression, or you can say multi-staging. Both are same thing, compound compression or multi-staging. So here we are going to discuss what is the need of compound compression or multi-staging. But before I have to explain that, we have to explain this main simple VCRS cycle. So we know that this is the pH diagram, pressure enthalpy diagram of VCRS cycle, that we have already discussed, okay? So in which episode? In episode understanding pH and TS diagram. So first go there and see that, okay? So this is the pH diagram, pressure versus enthalpy diagram of simple VCRS cycle, where we have a one compressor, because you know that what kind of circuit that we are having VCRS cycle. So you know that first we have a evaporator. So we have evaporator, then it will go to the what? Compressor, then it will go to the what? Then it will go to the condenser, then it would go to the what? Receiver, then expansion valve, then evaporator. So we are having a circuit something like this. So we have one compressor, okay? So now this is the compressor. You can see that this is the compression effect over here. This is the expansion, EXP. This is the expansion process. So we know that 4 to 1 is a evaporation process, means heat absorb. 1 to 2 compression process. 2 to 3 heat rejected in condenser. Process 3 to 4, what will happen? Expansion will happen. We know that. So this is the 3 to 4 is known expansion process, or you can say throttling process. So it is something like this. In throttling, enthalpy will be constant. So 3 to 4 expansion and 4 to 1 evaporation. Okay, so this is something like this. 4 to 1 evaporation. So this is the refrigerating effect. Here we get the refrigerating effect because heat absorbed in the evaporator. So 4 to 1 evaporation, 1 to 2 compression, 2 to 3 condensation, and 3 to 4 expansion, or you can say throttling. Now we know that the point 1 is on which line? In vapor line. So that means point 1 is 100% vapor. Point 2 will be what? Superheated. You know that. This point is in which? Vapor region. Point 3 is what? Liquid region. And this 4 is liquid plus vapor. So this I have already discussed in understanding PHTS diagram. That why I am telling it vapor, why I am telling it vapor, why I am telling it liquid, why I am telling it liquid plus vapor. So I have discussed in that video. Okay. So this is a basic pH diagram we are have. Now in the numerical you require this kind of equation. Not only in numerical, but you have to understanding the compound compression, you have to understand this equation. Okay. So first, refrigerating effect. This is the first equation that we need to understand. Okay. What is refrigerating effect? So refrigerating effect means here you can see that in evaporation heat is absorbed. So refrigerating effect is happening in process 4 to 1. So how to find refrigerating effect? So equation of refrigerating effect is equal to H1 minus H4. Why H1 minus H4? Because process is 4 to 1. So what you will do in pH chart, from point 1 you will draw vertical line like this. So it will show some enthalpy, you can say H1. Same way from 4 you can draw vertical line, and here you will find some value of enthalpy H4. So if you do H1 minus H4, here this is point is 0. So this is H1 minus H4, you will get this much. That is the evaporation. That means the refrigerating effect. So refrigerating effect is H1 minus H4. Same way, if you have to find compression work or work done by the compressor, so it is process 1 to 2. Same methodology. What you will do? From 2 you will draw vertical line like this, and here you will get the enthalpy H2. So we know that the here 1 to 2. So how to get compression works? So 0 to H2. So this much, and 0 to H1 this much. So we will get H2 minus H1. So this minus this. So H2 minus H1. So this much will be the compression work. So it will be kilojoule per kg, because enthalpy unit is kilojoule per kg. So this is how we can write work done by the compressor. Now most important equation, COP. We know that the efficiency of the refrigerator is measured in terms of COP, means coefficient of performance. So we know that COP is equal to refrigerating effect upon work done by compressor. So refrigerating effect is H1 minus H4 and work done by compression is equal to H2 minus H1, and this is how you can find. Okay, and COP is unitless quantity. Now fourth equation, fifth equation. In fourth equation, if someone says find out the capacity of refrigerant, so capacity is nothing. If you multiply refrigerating effect with the mass flow rate of refrigerant, it will become capacity. So here you can say H1 minus H4. So multiply with the mass flow rate of refrigerant, m dot, that is mass flow rate of refrigerant, kg per second. So H1 minus H4 multiply by mass flow rate of refrigerant, so that will become capacity. Same way, if someone say find out the power, means compressor power. So what you have to do? You have work done by the compressor, multiply with mass flow rate. So what will happen? So compression work is H2 minus H1 multiply with mass flow rate of refrigerant. So mass flow rate into H2 minus H1, this will become power. So also you can write COP is equal to capacity upon power. Capacity upon power. So this is another equation. So it will be same, mass flow rate cancel. So it will become same equation like this. So either you can write COP equation like this, or you can write COP is equal to capacity upon power. Okay. So these are the basic equations. Also you have to remember 1 tons of refrigeration is equal to 3.5 kilowatt, that I already told you. And 1 TR, also we can write 1 TR is equal to 211 kilojoule per minute. These two terms that you have to remember, that 1 ton of capacity, this is a unit of capacity. Okay, so that says that we find the capacity equal to 5 TR. So convert into kilowatt. How you convert? So 5 TR, if you want to convert into kilowatt, you have to multiply by 3.5. If I will say find out the capacity in kilojoule per minute, so let's say you have 5 TR. So how you will find it kilojoule per minute? So 5 multiplied by 211. So it will be converted into the kilojoule per minute. Now this is the basic. Okay, and here the number of compression we use in simple VCRS cycle is 1. So only one compressor is used. But in compound compressor, or you can say in multi-staging, we will use more than one compression. So here you will use the more than one compressor. So either it can be 2, it can be 3. So why we are going to do that? Okay, so that's why here you can say that we are using the compressor more than one. So that is why it is known as compound compression, or you can say multi-staging, because compression done in more than one stage. Here you can say that compression is done in only one stage, 1 to 2. But here you can see that this is the Piet diagram of compound compression cycle. How this diagram comes, that we will discuss in the next video. That right now that you don't have to focus that. Right now you have to focus on the concept. So here you can see that this is the compression 1. So 1 to 2. This is compressor 1. Then again it will reach to the vapor line. Then again you will do compression again from 3 to 4. So this is compressor 2. So you can see that here first it compress in compression 1 and then it will compress in compressor 2. So here more than one compressor is used. You can see that here the compression is done in more than one stages. First compression done in the stage 1 to 2. Then compression done in stage 3 to 4. So more than one stage compression is happening over. So that is known as multi-stage compressor, or you can say compound compression. Now why we have to do this? So we know that COP is equal to refrigerating effect upon work done by compression. So if you want to improve the COP, what you have to do? Either you have to improve the refrigerating effect, that means increase the refrigerating effect, then COP is also going to be increased, or decrease the work done by compression, then also it is going to be COP increase. So why we are going to do, why we are going to come over here? Because we want to improve the COP over here in multi-stage compression. So what we gonna do? In multi-stage compression, we are going to reduce the work done by compressor. Why? Because we know that COP is equal to refrigerating effect upon work done by compressor. So if you want to get a good COP, either you can increase the refrigerating effect, or either you can decrease the work done by compressor. So what I am going to do over here, I am going to decrease the compressor work over here. So indirectly, it is going to give me a good COP. So that is the logic behind doing the compound compressor. So here you can see that first 1 to 2. Okay, then we were using some kind of cooling medium. So from 1 it is vapor line, This is first compression, 1 to 2. So 1 to 2 compression is happen. So 1 is on vapor, 2 will be which stage? Superheated, because it is in vapor, and if you do it compression, then temperature increase, so it will vapor to it will go into the superheated. Now 2 is superheated, but here you are providing some cooling, so it comes to the vapor region. So point 3 is on vapor region. Then again compression is happening in compressor 2. So it is here, but after compression it will come into which region? Superheated region. So 3 to 4. Now here are the two compressor. But let's say if I have used only one compressor to reach over here, then what will happen? So if I have used one compressor, so you can see that it diagram will be something like this, and then it will come over here like this. Instead of this line in compound compression, this line is going this, then this, then this. But if I don't use the more than one compressor, if I use only one compressor, then this line will go like this. So that means what will happen? Your compressor work is going to be increased, because then your first starting point will be here and ending point will be here. So this much is compression work you have to do. But right now, if I will do compression in more than one stages, is what happening over here. So I will remove this, so you will get to know. If I will do compound compression, so your first point is here and your last point is here, because then you go 1 to 2, then you come back, then you go 3 to 4, so your last point is over here. So it will be something like, so this much only. So compressor work will be this much only instead of this much. Why? Because what you are doing, you are taking this ending point nearer to the vapor line, this vapor line. So if you are getting this end point nearer to the vapor line, you will get the less compressor work. So automatically you will get good COP. So this is the idea behind doing compound compression. Again repeat I. What will happen? Here the compression is happening in two process, 1 to 2 and 3 to 4. But instead of two compressor, if I will use one compression, then what will happen? Then this line will go like this. Like this. So this will be your ending point. So this is the here and this much here. This will become your compressor work. So compressor work is increased. But if I will use more than one compressor, then what is happening? Then first more than one compression. In first compression I will reach 1 to 2, then I will cooling, and then since second compressor I will reach over here. So this will be my last point. So this is the first point, so this is the H1 and this is the last point. So this much compressor work will be happening over here. So this much. So compression work is reduced. So this is the logic behind doing a compound compression. So this is the very 10% of idea. You will get, I think, 10% of idea from here, but that is very important to understand the next video of compound compression. So I hope in this video you will get it just some basic concept of VCRS, and also you have understand why we are doing multi-staging or why we are doing multi-compression. So I hope you will like this video. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.